right, let's dive in. Today we're taking a look at Master Your Thinking by Thibaut Meurisse. This is all about one big idea, getting your thinking aligned with what's actually real so you can finally get real results. Let's get right to it. So, does this sound familiar? You've got these huge dreams, right? Big, exciting goals, but you just don't seem to be making any real progress. It's super frustrating. Well, this book argues that the problem isn't that you're not working hard enough. Nope, the problem is your internal GPS.
So the book introduces this really key concept. It's called your model of reality. Now, what is that? Just think of it like your personal map of the world. It's built from every single belief you have about, well, everything. And here's the kicker. Just like a real map, if yours is wrong, you're going to get lost. It doesn't matter how hard or fast you run.
And that brings us to our first big idea, the reality gap. You can probably guess what this is, right? It's that space between your map and the actual territory. It's the difference between what you think is true and what is true. See, the problem isn't your goal. It's that your map is leading you completely astray.
And listen, this isn't just some abstract philosophical thing. Oh no, having an inaccurate mental map has real, tangible costs that show up in your day-to-day life. So let's talk about the hidden price you're paying for this faulty thinking.
When your model of reality is flawed, the consequences are, well, they're pretty brutal. It creates all this unnecessary suffering and stress. You waste so much time and energy running in circles, it makes you feel bad about yourself, and pretty soon you're just totally overwhelmed. Sound familiar?
The book gives this perfect little story to show how this works. So, a friend of the author wants to start a meetup event. He reaches out to an organizer for some advice, and she doesn't reply. What's the immediate story his brain creates? Oh, she sees me as a competitor. And just like that, with one little assumption, he's created this whole drama of conflict and negativity in his head.
But what was the reality? So simple. She'd just been sick. That's it. All of that stress, all that manufactured drama, it all came from one faulty assumption. It's such a powerful example of how our thinking literally creates our own suffering, isn't it? Okay, so if our thinking is so off, where are these errors actually coming from? The book uses this awesome metaphor. Think of your brain as running on some kind of mental software. And right now, that software is full of bugs that are distorting reality. Let's go bug hunting and identify the two main culprits. All right, bug number one, flawed assumptions. These are the absolute foundation of our mental map. They're all the things we believe are true, but we never really stop to question them. They just are. They're running in the background, all the time, shaping every single decision we make.
So where do we even get these assumptions? Well, pretty much everywhere. You pick them up from your parents, your teachers, the media, your friends. You build them from your own experiences, and maybe even more importantly, from how you interpret those experiences. They're literally programmed into us, which is why they are so hard to see.
Okay, on to bug number two, cognitive biases. You've probably heard of these. They're basically predictable mental shortcuts. See, our brains are lazy. They want to save energy, so they take these little shortcuts. The problem is, these shortcuts often lead to really irrational judgments and bad decisions. Let's look at a couple of big ones.
First up, the sunk cost fallacy. Oh man, this one is huge. It's that little voice in your head that says, but I've already put so much time into this, or I've spent way too much money to quit now. You end up making choices based on what you did in the past, not on what's actually best for you right now. So how do you fight this? The book gives us this incredibly powerful tool called zero-based thinking. All you have to do is ask yourself one simple question. Knowing what I know today, would I still make this same choice? Would I still start this business, take this job, get into this relationship? If the answer is no, well, you're trapped by sunk costs. This question yanks you right back into the present. Next up, we've got survivorship bias. This one is sneaky. It's what happens when we look at the huge success stories, the Bill Gates or Steve Jobs of the world, and we think their path is the path. We only see the survivors, the ones who made it. We totally forget about the thousands, maybe millions, who tried the exact same thing and failed. So the antidote for this one is a little counterintuitive, but it is brilliant. Instead of only asking how to succeed, you need to actively study failure. Ask yourself, what are all the reasons I could fail? What are all the obstacles? And look, this isn't about being pessimistic, not at all. It's about being a realist, so you can create a plan that's ready for challenges instead of getting totally blindsided. All right, so we've found the bugs in our mental software.
Now what do we do? Well, the next part is all about the fix. It's time to debug our thinking and finally upgrade that mental software.
The book gives us 3 really powerful steps. First, you have to challenge your assumptions. Don't just accept them as fact. Ask, wait a minute, is this actually true? Second, get good at spotting your own cognitive biases in action. And third, and this one might be the hardest, let go of your ego and ask for help. Seriously. Find someone who's already where you want to be, someone with an accurate map, and just ask them for directions.
So you might be thinking, wow, that sounds like a lot of hard work. And it is. So why bother? What's the real payoff here? It's simple, really. It's about finally getting out of your own way. It's about aligning what you do with how the world is, because that is the only way to get the results you actually want.
And this really brings that map metaphor full circle, doesn't it? If your map is flawed, if your model of reality is inaccurate, it's a guarantee you're going to stay lost, frustrated, and totally stuck. But an accurate map, that gives you a clear path forward. All this work we're talking about, it's really just about drawing a better map for yourself.
Because here's the bottom line, the most crucial point of all. It's a simple chain of events. Better thinking leads to better actions, and better actions lead to better results. It's that simple. And it all starts right up here, in your head.
So I want to leave you with one final and I think really powerful question to chew on. In your career, in your relationships, in all of your goals, what is the one single assumption you are living by that if it turned out to be wrong, would change absolutely everything? Really think about that.